Hey guys, I'm John. The other week I went to this hackathon in Sweden called Midi Hack. I'm totally bored of hackathons, but this one involved like synthesizers and bleepy bloopy stuff and crazy German people with beards and moustaches. So this was really awesome. The goal of the hackathon was to make crazy music-y stuff, but with code. So yeah, it was sweet. So we're at this hackathon and we're trying to think of what's super cool that we could make. We were going to do something like really physical with hardware. Then we realized that we had to travel like through airports and stuff to get there. So bringing like a big bag full of Arduinos looked a bit like a bomb. Couldn't do that. Didn't want to do that. Also realized that we're just a bit shit at hardware. So we wanted to do some kind of Meteor hack. So that's me there doing some hacking, drinking some Coke Zero. That was cool. We came up with a couple of parameters. It had to be a Meteor hack, just because I wanted something to demo here. It had to use Ableton Live, because they were giving out the prizes and I kind of wanted to win. Didn't work in the end. Anyway, so we started thinking about hacks that we could do. Has anyone seen Chris Waring's thing that he's done a couple of times here? That thing? Seen it? Not seen it? So what Chris's thing was awesome at was that people would connect with their iPhones and then kind of become kind of controllers for Ableton Live. I should go back and say Ableton's this sweet music software that people use to make bleepy bloopy music. So I was like, okay, Chris has done this really cool thing. I'm going to do something 25% as cool, but let's roll with it. And then we were like, let's reimagine the favorite childhood game, Bop It. Everyone seen Bop It? You have like this thing and it gives you like instructions to do stuff. You have like flick it, spin it, pull it, bop it, things like that. And then we're like, okay, what can the controllers be? Well, obviously, they're the ones that we've got in our pockets all the time, as Simon touched upon, and everyone else has really realized that iPhones are sweet because they're really good at connectivity and they've got shitloads of sensors in them. So you've got the shaky ones and the rotatey ones and a bunch of things like that. So what we came up with was essentially like a multiplayer Bop It game that interacted with some music that you've got going on in Ableton. I'll give you some music. You have some music going on. And the idea is that you'd kind of take it in turns to be assigned some kind of action to do, so a spin or a swipe or something like that. And yeah, that's kind of what we made. It's not perfect, but I figured I'd show it because that's the spirit of the meetup or something. Okay, so demos. Can people can't see that IP address that I helpfully put right at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so what you're looking at right now, actually, before we get into this, this is kind of the really tackily designed admin interface. It's not for public viewing, but each person who connects their phones is assigned a square. When I press switch, those squares get turned on at random. Obviously, if there's lots of people, I think 1 or 2 people at a time, get assigned a gesture. And you can see, ooh, that person over there has got a swipey thing like that. That person over there has got a rotatey thing like that. And these are hooked into different things in Ableton. So I can't remember exactly what they are. I think doing that will affect like the panning of the speakers. Some other things will affect different filters on drums and that kind of thing. To be honest, that's the thing that we haven't, that is kind of least worked. We need to figure out what actually kind of what's fun to control and what's, what people should be controlling. Anyway, if anyone's on the Wi-Fi and has an iPhone, can you try connecting to that? I don't know if it will work. Might work, might not. Couple of people, maybe not. It's cool, we can work without it actually. So I'm gonna just drag this guy over here, see if we can fit all this stuff on the screen. Yeah, there we go, okay, we've got some people. So the idea of the game was that it would be on kind of a loop. So we've got a start button here, which should randomize it every couple of seconds. Yeah, there you go. So you can see if I hold up my phone and you look at your neighbor's phone, if they're connected, you can see this kind of goes on and off. The UI is written in Swedish because I was trying to win brownie points with the Swedish judges. I can't read Swedish, Google Translate. Didn't work, we didn't win, but whatever. But I forgot to translate it back. I don't know what that says, to be honest. I think that says wait. That says wait, and then when it's my turn to go, I get like an animation of the gesture. Anyway, I guess we should just give it a go, to be honest. If we connect and we play some music, like I say, we've got kind of the mechanisms working. So it does divvy up players' random instruments, and it kind of has all the loops going and stuff like that. The bit that's a bit rubbish is actually hooking it into the song, because we're not very good at actually making music. So I don't know, it doesn't sound very good, but we'll work on that for the next one. So if I press play, whoa, that's super loud, okay. And people look at their devices, and when you get like a gesture, just kind of try and do it. It's a bit quick, but we'll work on that. What's that? Yeah, maybe come up on stage, maybe not. It might not be very good either way, but you know.
Because I don't know what I'm doing. I would have an iPhone. And Vanta.
So yeah, what does, oh, Vanta's wait. Okay, so I'll switch it around. What have you got? What have you got? Oh, you still got Vanta. There you go. So if you hold your device up. So I think now, swipe it. Oh man. So I messed it up again. You're supposed to like...
It's red.
Yeah.
Ga.
Yeah.
It means go.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
I mean, it kind of did a thing. I feel like it kind of did a thing. Yeah, so, okay. Let me just, how am I gonna show this? I don't know. We had a bunch of things going on here. Like, for example, this guy. So you can make like some instant dubstep, and this was controlled by going like, oh. Just like, you know, rocking out some like weird Skrillexy kind of stuff. Yeah, so the problem that basically that we found with this when we're trying to get people to play it is that getting people to understand what they're actually supposed to be doing. So you get the idea that this is like a, you can see like the animation there? It's supposed to be like a kind of thing. But in a live audience setting, like for people to figure out, okay, this is what I've got to do, and then to like figure out what effect it's having on the music, the whole kind of making it fun part, yeah, it's a little, that's the difficult bit, yeah, making things fun. It was really, really good. We were playing around with it at a hackathon at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and we were like, oh, we've broken through the barrier. We've made this thing work. I've got my Meteor connectivity all working. And then we're like, is this fun, or have we just not slept for a while? And we weren't sure. And then we got up on stage, and it went something just about like this. But you know, it's pretty fun. We learned quite a lot about Meteor and interfacing Meteor with node modules. We have like an NPM module that connects to Ableton via node Midi. And then yeah, also trying to kind of assign users to random instruments. When people connect, they become something in the Meteor database, and so we can quite easily kind of switch those guys around like that. Up there, whoa. Oh, and also the other really difficult thing that made me really regret doing in Meteor actually is trying to get the bloody gyroscope to work. I don't know if I can zoom this in. We've basically got all of this accelerometer code, so it's really easy with Meteor to access your device APIs. So you've got your accelerometer and all those other things that Ben covered earlier. And it's really easy to add event listeners to those and have, you know, like live streams of stuff, you know, live streams of numbers and 180 degrees or 360 degrees, whatever, all that stuff. Super, super easy. It's really difficult, like getting like compelling, like drawing conclusions from that data. What we wanted to do was have like really smart gestures, like this person's done a circle with their phone. It's really difficult to do that when you've just got like 3 numbers like representing in 3D space. So I feel like maybe someone smart's done a really nice Objective-C library for that, or something like someone with proper maths. My friend Ben had to do all this, like integrate to get velocity. I failed maths in school, so I don't even know what integrate means, to be honest. I feel like Meteor was kind of cool for this because it's like really good for like the multiplayer connectivity and stuff. But it kind of sucks to actually do gestural stuff with. I think that was kind of my conclusion.